हेलो गाइज, आप लोग कैसे हैं। मैं अजीत प्रताप यादव आप लोगों के लिए नई वीडियो लेके आ गया। आज इस वीडियो में डिस्कस करूंगा कि क्लास 9 साइंस चैप्टर 8 फोर्स एंड लॉ ऑफ मोशन। तो लेट्स स्टार्ट। व्हाट इज फोर्स? अ फोर्स इज पुश और पुल अपॉन ए ऑब्जेक्ट रिजल्टिंग फ्रॉम इट्स इंटरेक्शन विथ another object. It can change the state of motion or shape of an object. What is force? A force is a push or pull upon an object resulting from its interaction with another object. It can change the state of motion or shape of an object. Question number two. What is the SI unit of force? The SI unit of force is Newton. Question number third. Define 1 Newton. 1 Newton is defined as the force that cause an acceleration of 1 meter per second to a mass of 1 kg. 1 Newton equal to 1 kilogram meter per second square. What are the different types of force? Give two examples. Contact force, example in frictional force, muscular force, and non-contact force. Example gravitational force, magnetic force. What are the different types of force? Give two examples. Contact force, example frictional force, muscular force, and non-contact force, gravitational force. Question number 5. What is the balance force? When two or more force acting on an object are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction, they cancel each other out and result in no change in the object state of motion. It's called a balance force. What is balance force? When two or more force acting on an object are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction, they cancel each other out and result in no change in the object state of motion. What question number? What is an unbalanced force? When the net force acting on an object is not zero, it causes a change in the object state of motion, that is can start, stop or change the direction of object is called unbalanced force. Question number 6. What is an unbalanced force? When the net force acting on an object is not zero, it causes a change in the object state of motion. It can start, stop or change the direction of the motion. Question number 7 states Newton's law of motion. An object remain in a state of rest or of uniform motion in a straight line unless compelled to change that state by an applied unbalanced force. Question number 7 state Newton's first law of motion. An object remain in a state of rest or of uniform motion in a straight line unless compelled to change that state by an applied unbalanced force. Question number 8. What is the other name of Newton's first law of motion? The law of inertia. Question number 8. What is the other name of Newton's law of motion? The law of inertia. Question number 9. Define inertia. Inertia is the natural tendency of an object to resist a change in its state of rest of uniform motion. What is inertia? Inertia is the natural tendency of an object to resist a change in its state of rest of uniform motion. Question number 10. On what factor does the inertia of an object depend? The inertia of object depend on its mass. The greater the mass, greater is the inertia. On what factor does the inertia of an object depend? The answer: the inertia of an object depend on its mass. The greater the mass, greater the inertia. Question number 11. What is the Newton's first law of motion? Difficult to demonstrate on Earth. Because unbalanced force like friction and air resistance are always acting on objects, which eventually bring them to a stop. Why is Newton's law of motion difficult to demonstrate on Earth? Because unbalanced force like friction and air resistance are always acting on objects, which eventually bring them to a stop. Question number 12. State Newton's second law of motion. The rate of change of momentum of an object directly proportional to the applied unbalanced force and take place in the direction of force. Question number 12. State Newton's second law of motion. The rate of change of momentum of an object is directly proportional to applied unbalanced force and take place in the direction of the force. Question number 14. Write the mathematical formula of Newton's second law. F equal to ma, where F is the net force, m is the mass, and a is the acceleration. Write the mathematical formula of Newton's second law of motion. F equal to ma, where F is the net force, m is the mass, and a is the acceleration. Question number 14. Define momentum. Momentum is the product of the mass and velocity of an object. P equal to m into v. Momentum is the product of the mass and velocity of an object. Is called momentum. P equal to m into v. What is the SI unit of momentum? Kilogram meter per second. Kilogram meter per second. What is the SI unit of momentum? SI unit of momentum is kilogram meter per second. Question number 6. State Newton's third law of motion. To every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Question number 17. Do action and reaction force act on the same body? No. Action and reaction force always act on two different bodies. Question number 18. What is the law of conservation mass? The total momentum of an isolated system of interacting the object remain constant provided no external unbalanced force act on it. Question number 19. Why does a gun recoil when bullet is fired? It is due to the Newton's third law. The forward force on the bullet action result in equal and opposite backward force on the gun reaction, causing it to recoil. What is friction? Friction is the force that opposes the relative motion between two surfaces in contact. Force that oppose the relative motion between the two surfaces in contact is called friction. Question number 21. Why are road accidents more likely in the rainy season? Water acts as a lubricant, reducing the friction between the tires and the road, which can lead to the skidding. Why are road accidents more likely in the rainy season? Water acts as a lubricant, reducing the friction between the tires and the road, which can lead to skidding. Question number 20. Why do astronauts in space feel weightless? Because the gravitational force in space is negligible, leading to a sensation of weightlessness. Why do astronauts in space feel weightless? Because the gravitational force in space is negligible, leading to a sensation of weightlessness. Question number 20. Why is it dangerous to jump from a fast moving vehicle? Due to the inertia of motion, the body continues to move forward in the direction of vehicle, which can cause serious injury upon hitting the ground. Due to the inertia motion, the body continues to move forward in the direction of vehicle, which can cause serious injury upon hitting the ground. Question number 24. What is the relationship between force and acceleration? Acceleration is directly proportional to the net force applied on the object, A proportional to F, where when mass is constant. Question number 25. What is the relation between mass and acceleration? Acceleration is inversely proportional to the mass of the object, A proportional to 1 upon m when force is constant. Now move to part 2, application and numerical based question. Question number 2. A constant force act on an object mass for 5 kg for 2 seconds. It increased the object's velocity from 3 meter per second to 7 meter per second. Find the force applied. Acceleration equal to b minus u upon t होता 7 minus c upon 2 meters per second. F equal to ma. Force is given 5 kg multiplied to equal to 10 Newton. Question number 27. What is the momentum of a 50 kg object moving with the velocity of 2 meter? So we know that momentum P equal to m into v. Mass is given 50 kg. So velocity is also given 2 meter per second. So put in the formula P equal to mv. P value of m is 50 kg multiplied by v is equal to 2 meter per second. So 100 kg kilogram meter per second square. Question number 28. A car and truck have the same momentum. Which has greater speed? The car has greater speed because it has less mass. The car has greater speed because it has less mass. Is P equal to m into v. For sample P, B is more than m is less. Question number Question number 20. If the mass of body is doubled, what happened to the n acceleration if the force remain the same? Acceleration become half. E equal to f upon m. If the m is doubled, it is half. Question number 30. Why does a cricketer move his hand backward while catching a fast moving ball? by increasing the time over which the catch is made. The reduce the rate of change of momentum, thereby reducing the force exertion on the his hand. Question number 13. A force of 50 Newton act on a body mass 10 kg. What is the acceleration produced? Equal to होता है F upon m. तो F upon n is 10 to 5 meter per second square. A force of 15 Newton act on a body of mass 10 kg. What is the acceleration produced? Equal to F upon m equal to 50 Newton upon m. Question number 32. A body pushes a wall but fail to move. What is the net force on a wall? The net force of the wall is zero because the wall does not move. The force applied by the body is balanced by the action reaction force from wall's foundation. Question number 33. Name the force which is responsible for a change in the direction of motion of planet. Gravitational force. Question number 34. A body of mass 1 kg is thrown with velocity of 20 meter. What is the momentum? P equal to 1 upon P equal to m into v. 1 kg multiplied 20 meter per second equal to 20 kg meter per second. Question number 35. If the velocity of a body is doubled, what happened to its momentum? Momentum is doubled. P proportional to v. Question number 38. A 100 kg car moving with 2 meter per second is brought to rest on 5 seconds. Calculate the retarding force equal to b minus u upon 5 4 minus 4 meter per second retardation. Force F equal to ma 100 kg multiplied minus 400 Newton. The negative sign indicates the retarding force. Question number 37. What are seat belt used in car? Seat belt increase the time taken for the passenger body to come to rest during the sudden stop collision, thereby reducing the impact force and preventing injury. Seat belt increase the time taken for the passenger body to come to rest during a sudden stop collision, thereby reducing the impact force and prevent injury. Question number 38. Action and reaction force are equal and opposite. Why don't they cancel each other? Because they act on two different bodies. For force is cancel out, they must act on the same body. Question number 13. A bullet of mass 20 kg is fired from a gun of mass 4 kg with velocity of 50 meter per second. Calculate recoiling velocity of the gun. Mass of bullet M1 is 20 kg, 0.5 kg. Mass of gun M2 4 kg. Velocity of bullet V1 50 meter per second. Recoiling velocity V2 equal to by conservation of momentum M1 V1 equal to M2 U2. M1 V1 plus M2 U2 equal to 0 plus 0 equal to 0.0250 multiplies 4 multiplied V2 over 0 equal to 1 plus V1. So after solving it, you get 0.25 meter per second. Negative sign indicates the gun move backwards. Question number 40. What is the net force required to accelerate a 100 kilogram of car at 4 meter per second square? F equal to ma. So 100 kg multiplied 4 meters per second square 4000 Newton. Question number 41. Why do we sleep on a muddy road but not on a dry road? A muddy road offers less friction than a dry road, making it easier to sleep. Question number 42. A force causes an acceleration of 10 meter per second square in a body of mass 500 kg. What acceleration will the same force cause in a body of mass 5 kg? First, find the force F equal to ma1 F 0.5 kg multiplied 10 meter per second is equal to 5 Newton. Now for m2 5 kg, a2 equal to F upon m2 equal to 5 Newton upon 1 meter per second square. Question number 43. Which has more inertia, a rubber ball or a stone of the same size? The stone has the more inertia because it has the greater mass. Question number 40. Explain why a horse cannot pull a cart in empty space. Explain why horse cannot pull a cart in empty space. A horse pulls the cart by pushing the ground backward with its feet. In empty space, there is no ground to push against, so the action reaction pair necessary for motion cannot be established. Question number 45. A book is lying on the table. What are the two forces acting on it? The gravitational force downward and the normal force exerted by the table up upward. Question number 46. If a net force F acting on a body of mass M produces an acceleration A, what will be the acceleration if the mass is double and force is hard? Initial A equal to F upon M, A dash equal to F upon 2 M, F upon 4 M equal to 1 upon 4A. Net acceleration will be one-fourth of the original. Question number 47. Why are the wheels of the car made circular? To minimize the friction. Rolling friction is less than the sliding friction and allows smooth motion. Why are the wheels of car made circular? To minimize friction. Rolling friction is less than sliding friction and allow smooth motion. Question number 48. A body is moving with a constant velocity. What is net force acting on it? The net force is zero. Question number 49. A force of 10 Newton is applied to body of for 3 seconds. What is the impulse of the force? Impulse equal force multiplied time 10 Newton multiplied 3 seconds equal to 30 Newtons, which is also equal to the change in momentum. Question number 52. Object of masses 100 kg and 200 gram are moving along the same line with velocity of 2 meter per second and 1 meter per second respectively. They collide and stick together. What is the velocity of the combined object? Answer is m1 is 0.1 kg, u1 equal to 2 meter per second, m2 equal to 0.2 kg, u1 equal 1 meter per second. Let the final velocity be v. By conservation of momentum, m1 u1 plus m2 u2 equal to m1 plus m2 v. 0.1 multiplied 2 equal to 0.1 multiplied 1, 0.1 plus 0.2 v, 0.2 plus 0.2 equal to 3 equal to, so 0.4 equal to 3b, b equal to 0.4, 0 equal to 1.3 3 meter per second. Now move to part 3, diagram and explanation based question लेंगे हम. Now move to part 3, we will take the diagram and explanation based question. Question number 51 to 70. Draw a diagram showing the action and reaction force when man walk on the ground. The diagram show action, man pushes the ground backward with his foot. Reaction, the ground pushes the man forward with the equal force. Question number 50. Illustrate with the diagram the force acting on a book placed on the table. Diagram should show two equal and opposite force. Weight mg acting downward and force n acting upward from the table. 15. Question of 15. Sketch a velocity time graph of an object under balance foot. A straight horizontal line indicating constant velocity which could be zero. Question number 50. Sketch a velocity time graph of an object under a constant unbalanced force. A straight line with a constant positive or negative slope indicates constant acceleration. Question number 55. Draw a diagram to show how the fielder gradually pulls back his hand while catching a cricket ball. The diagram should show the ball being caught with the hand moving backward in direction of the ball moves and increase the time of catch. Question number 56. Explain the principle of rocket with the diagram. The diagram should show the rocket expelling hot gases downward action. The expelled gases exert an equal and opposite force that propel the rocket upward. Question number 57. Why are helmet recommended for cyclists? Explain using law of motion. In case of collision or fall, the helmet increases the time over which the head come to rest. This reduces the rate of change of momentum. Newton's law of second law, thereby decreasing force on the head and preventing the serious injury. Question number 50. Why is the massive hammer more effective for driving a nail into a wooden block? A massive hammer has greater inertia and thus greater momentum for the same velocity. When it hits the nail, this large momentum is transferred, producing a larger force that drives the nail deeper. Explain why boat move forward backward when man jump out into the bank. Jump out it onto the bank. When the man jump forward onto the bank action, he exerts a backward force on the boat reaction, causing the boat to move backward. Newton's third law. Question number 60. How does an astronaut float in the space shuttle? The astronaut and the space shuttle are both in the state of continuous free fall toward the Earth. Since there is no normal reaction force, the astronaut experiences apparent weight loss and float. Question number 16. What is the purpose of the using a spring balance? A spring balance is used to measure the weight force. A spring balance is used to measure the weight force of an object by using the principle that the extension of a spring is directly proportional to the force applied. Hooke's law. Question number 62. Define 1 kilogram force. 1 kilogram is force which is the earth attract mass 1 kg. 1 kilogram 9.8 Newton, approximately 10 Newton. Question number 63. What is why it is easier to stop a tennis ball than a cricket ball moving at the same speed? A cricket ball has more mass and therefore more momentum to bring it rest. A greater force or longer time is required compared to the tennis ball. Question number 64. A ball, a balloon fitted with air is released. In which direction does the air escape and in which direction does the balloon move? The air escape backward action and the balloon move forward action. Can an object have energy without having momentum? Give an example. Yes, an object has at rest zero momentum can have potential energy. Example: a book placed on a high shelf. Question number 66. Can an object have momentum without having energy? No. If an object has momentum P equal to it must be have motion B equal to not zero, and therefore it must be have Canting energy K equal to half mv square. Question number 67. A hockey player hit a ball and the ball travel in a different direction. Which law is illustrated here? Newton's second law of motion. The force applied by the stick change the ball's momentum, and also Newton's third law. The ball exerts an equal force on the stick. Question number 68. Why are luggage carriers on the roof of buses fitted with curved rail? To lower the center of mass of the loaded luggage, increase the stability of the bus and preventing it from toppling over. Question number 6. A passenger in moving train toss a coin. The coin fall behind him. What can you say about the motion of the train? The train is accelerating forward due to the inertia of coin continue to move with its initial velocity, which is less than the train's new bolus. So it's fall behind the passenger. Question number 70. How does a karate player break a pile of tiles in a single blow? The player moves his hand very fast, giving it a large momentum. This momentum is reduced to zero in a very short time. When the hand hits the tiles, this produces a very large force that is sufficient to break the tile. Now, part 4, higher order thinking HOT's question number 71 to 100. Derive mathematical form of Newton's third law. Let's object of mass m moving with initial velocity u be acted upon by a force F for time t, resulting final velocity v, acceleration a equal to b minus u upon t. From Newton's law of second law, F proportional rate of change of momentum, F proportional to mb minus mu upon t, F proportional to mb minus ut upon ut, F equal to ma, thus F equal to k ma, where k is constant, assign it k is 0, so F equal to ma. Question number 72. Using the second law so that the first law is contained in it. F from F equal to ma. If the net external force F equal to 0, then acceleration A equal to 0. This means that object will remain at rest if U equal to 0 or in uniform motion. If U equal to not 0, which is exactly what Newton's first law stated. Question number 7. Prove that law of conservation of mass using Newton's third law. Consider two objects A and B with mass size m1 and m2 moving with velocity u1 u2. u1 is more than u2. They collide for time t. Let their velocity become v1 and v2. Force on v by a f f is to a b equal to change in momentum upon b upon t equal to m2 b minus u2 upon t. Force on a by v f of ba change in momentum upon a upon t m1 b1 minus u1 upon t by Newton third law f b equal to minus fba. So m2 b2 minus u2 upon t minus m1 b minus upon u1 upon t. So m2 b2 minus u2 equal to minus b1 upon u1 m2 b2 minus m2 u2 m1 b1 plus m1 u1. So m1 u1 plus m2 u2 m1 v1 plus m2 v2. This so that total momentum before collision equal to total momentum after collision. Question number 74. A system is isolated. What can you say about the total momentum of the system? The total momentum of an isolated system remain constant. Question number 75. Why is it advised to tie luggage with rope on the roof of the bus? To prevent the luggage from falling off due to the inertia of rest of motion. When the bus starts suddenly, the luggage tend to remain at rest and may fall backward when the bus stops suddenly. The luggage tend to continue moving and may fall forward. Question number 20. A meteoroid burnt upon entering the Earth's atmosphere. What causes this? The friction between the meteoroids and the Earth's atmosphere generates immense heat, causing it to burn up. Question number 77. What provide the centripetal force for a planet to the revolve around the sun? The gravitational force of the sun provide the necessary centripetal force. Question number 78. An object is thrown vertically upward. What is its velocity and acceleration at the highest point? Velocity is 0. Acceleration is 9.8 meter per second square downward due to the gravity. Question number 79. Give an example from daily life where force change the shape of an object. Pressing a lump of dough to make a chapati. Question number 80. Give an example force where change the direction of a moving object. A batsman hitting the cricket ball. Question number 81. A body is acted upon by a number of external force. Can it remain at rest? Answer is yes. If the vector sum of net force of all the external force is 0. Question number 82. Is Newton's first law applicable to a single object or a system object? Answer. It is applicable to both a single object and a system object. Question number 83. What is the net force on a falling object when it reaches its terminal velocity? Answer. The net force is 0. The gravitational force weight is balanced by the air resistance drag force. Question number 84. Why is the handle of a cricket bat rough? Answer is that to increase the friction which provide a better grip for the player. Question number 85. A man getting out of moving bus fall in the direction of bus. A motion y. His feet touch the ground and come to the rest, but the upper part of his body continue to move forward due to inertia of motion, causing him to fall forward. Question number 86. Name the physical quantity which is measured by the product of mass and velocity. Question number 86. Name the physical quantity which is measured by the product of mass and velocity. Question number 86. Name the physical quantity which is measured by the product of mass and velocity momentum. Question number 87. Name the physical quantity which is a measure of the inertia of body mass. Question number 88. A force of 5 Newton give a mass m1 and acceleration of 10 meter per second square and a mass m2 and acceleration of 20 meter per second square. What acceleration would it give if both mass are tied together? First find m1 and m2. F m1 equal to f upon a1 upon f 5 upon 10 equal to 0.5 kg. M2 f upon a2 equal to f 5 upon 20 equal 0.25 kg. Total mass m equal to m1 upon m2 is equal to 0.75 kg. Acceleration a equal to f upon m equal to f 5n upon 0.7 kg is equal to 6.67 meter per second square. Question number 89. Which would require a greater force accelerating at 2 kg mass of 5 meter per second, 4 kg mass at 2 meter per second square? Answer. F1 equal to 2 kg multiplied by 5 meter per second square 10 n. F2 equal to 4 kg multiplied 2 meter per second equal to 8 n. Accelerating the 2 kg mass require a greater force. Question number 90. A body of mass 500 gram is at rest. What is the magnitude of the force which can make the body move with velocity of 20 centimeter in 10 seconds? Mass m equal to 500 gram, 0.5 kg. Initial velocity u equal to 0. Final velocity v equal to 20 meters and 0.2 meter. Time t equal to 10. Acceleration a b minus u upon t 0.2 multiplied 0 upon 10 0.02 meter per second. Force F equal to ma equal to 0.5 kg 0.02 meter per second equal to 0.01 Newton. What is The momentum of body of mass 20 gram moving with the velocity of 3 centimeter per second. Answer: M equal to 20 kg, 0.2 kg, B equal to 30 centimeter, 0.3 meter, P equal to M into V, 0.06 kg. Question number 92. As scooterist skid on a rainy road, which law of motion is stated here? The law of inertia, Newton's first law. The scooter tend to continue moving in a straight line due to the inertia, but the reduced friction caused the wheel to skid. Question number 93. A force is applied on a rigid body and to a non-rigid body. How does the affect the force I differ in two cases? On a rigid body, force produces acceleration. On a non-rigid body, the force can change the boat its shape and its state of motion. Question number 94. Why is it difficult to walk on a smooth and wet floor? A smooth and wet floor offer very little friction. Without sufficient friction, it is hard to push the ground backward with our feet action, so we don't get the necessary forward reaction force to walk. A man pushes a wall with force of 100 Newton. What is the magnitude and direction of the force the wall exerts on the man? The wall exerts a force of 100 Newton on the man in the direction away from the wall, opposite to the push. Question number 96. A ball is dropped from the height. Is its motion uniform or non-uniform? Answer is the non-uniform because its velocity increased due to the acceleration caused by gravity. Question number 97. What kind of force is friction, conservative or non-conservative? Friction is non-conservative force because the work done by friction depend on the path taken, not just the initial and final position. Question number 98. When you kick a stone, you get hurt. Why? Due to the Newton's third law, the force you apply on the stone action result in an equal and opposite force from the stone on your foot reaction which hurts you. Question number 99. A body is moving with the uniform velocity. Is it necessary that no force is acting on it? Answer: no, it is not necessary. A body can move with the uniform velocity even when force are acting on it, provided the net force is zero. Example: a car moving at constant speed on a level road has driving force balanced by friction and air resistance. Question number 100. A body is moving with the uniform acceleration. Is its momentum constant? No. If a body is accelerating, its velocity is changing. Thus, since momentum P equal to mv depend on velocity, the momentum is also changing. I hope this extensive list help of you and master the chapter force and law of motion. Wishing you the very best for the your study and brilliant academic year ahead. तो गाइज ये वीडियो आपको अच्छी लगी तो प्लीज़ लाइक एंड सब्सक्राइब जरूर करें। जय हिंद, जय भारत।